Otio, tio, 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 tio.
Nimusukure imitima twese dushishikarire kumenya zira y'ubugingo buhoraho amayira y'Imana yakwiriye isi yose.
So, twose tushishikarire kumenya, twena tushishikarire okukora ebibi, twena turuho ahakora ebibi konka omwoyo gwa Ruhanga guruho ahabwo kututereeza tukakora ebirungi. Omwoyo gwa Ruhanga, omwoyo gw'omwana we, omwoyo gw'omwoyo orikwera, spirit erikwera eyabarangi abachwezi abataremuura. Mwene rizoba, I want us to talk about how education in Africa has left us behind in terms of development. I want to talk about the ghost of the whites that has since tormented us. I want to talk about the small gods in the format of the whites. In an African setup, one would expect to have a built-up, to have wisdom that we had before colonization took place in Africa, because we were the first people to understand the format and the development of this world. Yes, I'm moving. So, wisdom started here in Africa because creation started here in Africa. Whoever says that he can't believe creation started here in Africa, then come to inbox and we argue. Or you come here and we argue. Creation started in Africa and wisdom started here in Africa. Understanding started here in Africa. Before whites were here, we had schools, we had universities, and we were teaching our Africans. A very big example of that is Mali. We had a university in Mali during the time of King Mansa Musa, the richest man to ever live in this world. We had a university which was attended by all African countries and far Europe, here in Africa. But after colonization, we see Africa vanishing. We see Africa disappearing. The image we are wearing today as Africans is not our image. It's not our image at all. Today, everything we are using is not ours. The reason is the format of education, the format of colonization that we were left with. Fake independence. We were happy we rose our flags and we thought we had independence, but in actual sense, we were receiving a well-organized system of the Europeans to keep us colonized. Number one, we are still mentally colonized. Number two, we are still cultural, traditional, spiritually colonized. How mental are we colonized? An African kid, an African young man, born today, is sacrificed to the systems of a white man. Yet he is supposed to be sacrificed to the systems traditionally of a black man. Today, our kids Before they even reach 6 months, we take them to the churches, which never existed before colonization, and sacrifice them to colonial spiritual institutionalization. We sacrifice them there without the understanding, without the beginning of perishing. That is number one sign of perishing as an African man. That is number one sign of worshipping Omuzimu Ne-mandwa yabazuungu. I want you to get me well. When you take a kid to the church, he's baptized in the names of the whites, not in the names of your ancestors, not in the names of your tradition and culture. Spiritually, you have taken away the gift of that young man, that young girl, that young boy. You have taken away the gift of wisdom. You have taken away the gift of understanding spiritually. You have taken away somebody's guardian angel. A kid is only 6 months, taken to church, taken to holy places by European colonization, and the gift is gone. When the kid is 1 year old, the only thing we do, including myself, we put them on the TV to watch cartoon because we need to do some other things. God, remember, we are taking the natural mind of a young kid, of an African man, an African woman, great woman, away. All those cartoon programs are mentally brainwashing that young man. When a kid is 2 years, the only thing that comes are those games. Baby Jesus, I love you. There's nothing like any traditional song, like any traditional culture setup, like any family setup that is taught to that kid yet. Brainwashing. When a kid is 3 years old, we take them to pre-primaries, the nursery schools, the kindergartens. Guess what? What they get in kindergarten is lifestyle hell. Number one, they are not in possession of their parents. Number two, a full day they are being trained to be mercenaries of European colonization, of European education system. There is nothing in those kindergartens that surely shapes any of those kids as Africans, as young, good Africans. Mentally, they are being brought up in a colonial setup, not in an African way. I don't oppose education, I don't oppose religion, but I oppose how they do it. If you take him to the church for baptism, why baptize him a name that you don't know? Why baptize him a Christian name, of which the one who brought religion has no Christian name? You go to Europe, you go to America, and ask them whether they have Christian names. Where are they? Or any one of you watching and you don't believe in Pan-Africanism, you don't believe in African setup and tradition, tell me, what are the Christian names of the white? We also have Christian names in our languages. My name, Natamba, is a Christian name. Natamba is healing. Why force me call myself healing? Natamba healing. Why force me call myself healing? That healing is a Christian name and Natamba is not a Christian name. Mental colonization. That is mental spiritual colonization. You are taking away the gift of my ancestors. Kindergarten, the kid is gone. Number one, kindergarten, teaching the kid English. They speak vernacular, they are beaten. By the time the kid goes to primary one, he's speaking English like he's coming from heaven. I am also using English to talk to you because the way I was brought up, because the way our communities were colonized, I am using English to talk to you so that you can understand. I don't mind anyone speaking English. I don't mind anyone speaking the traditional language. But what I mind about is why not teach your kids your local language and bless them? Then by the time they learn English for international communication, for intercontinental modern communication, when somebody knows his language. The kid is in primary 7, doesn't know his local language. The only language he knows is English. I don't oppose that people shouldn't be taught English. I oppose parents and teachers who force kids to speak English as if English is heaven. It is hell, although heaven and hell is a hoax. The kid is in primary 7, doesn't know anything concerning local language, doesn't know anything concerning his history, doesn't know anything concerning African family setup. The kid is buried, goes to senior 1. Remember, a kid is studying theory, no practical at all. The kid is studying to get a job in a certain office, to get a job in a certain ministry. The kid is not studying on how to make wells, how to make boreholes, how to make systems in his village for good water system, for good drinking water. The only good drinking water the kid knows is from the tap. The tap water with iodine. That is the only water the kid knows. He doesn't know how it comes. He doesn't know how to make it. In the village, we have a medemo. So, how were we taken away? Education system in Africa, the ghost, a mandwa of the whites that really took us away. The reason why Africa is not developed is because we are studying for white collar jobs. We are not studying to be dirty. We are not studying to be dirty. I was running away from noise of some people. You just forgive me. I was running away from noise. What the only thing we know is studying for white collar jobs. We are not studying for dirtiness. When I was growing up at 10 years old, when I was in primary 3, primary 2, my dad, we used to like rabbits. My dad made sure that he built each one of us a house for the rabbits, and we raised the rabbits. You could find when you have 30 rabbits, when you come from school, you go and look for the mudo for the food of the rabbits and you put it in. Make sure in the evening you put in the food that will spend the whole day tomorrow. Then you go for schooling. We used to sell the rabbits. That was 1997, there 96. We used to sell the rabbits at 500 shillings. 500 shillings. A kid in primary 1, primary 2, primary 3 selling a rabbit at 500 shillings. How I wish I had continued with that project. where would I be? Because when I reached senior 1, I was taken to, actually primary 5, I was taken to a boarding school. Primary 5, I was taken to a boarding school in search for quality education. quality education. The quality education, I left it home with the rabbits, not the one that they took me to the boarding school for. I was actually searching for, I don't know, quality education. I went to a boarding school, and the business for the rabbits gone, because my father wanted me to study. Oh, secondary school, I'm still on theories. Remember, the rabbits are normal. Theories. And count how many years. I'm studying theories. Go to the university, degree in journalism and mass communication. A degree of Rugambo, a degree of Rumamongaring is what I acquired. Now, from primary 5 to university, 3rd year, how many years are those ones? Those are 2 years, primary 6 and 7, plus the 6 years of the secondary school. Those are 8 years, plus the 3 years at the university. Those are 11 years. 11 good years of bullshit quality education. Shit quality education. How I wish there were 11 years of rabbit rearing, rabbit raising. What would happen if I had continued with those rabbits? Today I would be having a biggest factory in Africa, or even in the whole world, producing rabbit meat. Today I would be a Mark Zuckerberg. Today I would be a Bill Gates. Today I would be those rich people. Guess what? I am still struggling with the quality education I acquired. It's now that I'm getting sense to go back, do what I missed doing at primary 7. What kind of education was that? And many are going through that. When we acquired independence, our leaders embraced the systems that were there, that were brought by the colonial masters. They never thought of diverting to something developmental in Africa. Yes, we have had technical schools, but how many are taking the students in technical schools? Because we grew up knowing that technical schools are for failures, are for the people who do not get marks to take them to quality stupid education. Quality theoretic stupid education, white collar jobs. It is today that I have realized a chapati maker a chapati maker is better than a government worker in terms of capital acquiring, in terms of profits monthly. A chapati maker gets 900,000 in a month. That is the low amount they get. 902 M in a month, which is not taxed, remember. But somebody in the government is given 1 million, there is pay as you earn, there is NSSF. By the time you get your money, it is 600,000. And there is rent at home, and there is kids at home, and you find you are getting nothing in profits. You work 50 years. By the time you retire, your grandchildren are poor, your children are poor, they are on the streets looking for the job because they were studying the quality theoretical education, not the dirty education of hands-on training. Africans wake up. They colonized us spiritually, They colonized us education-wise. They colonized our systems. Which systems do we have in Africa that are surely developing us, apart from theirs? And by the way, we have the technology, the best technology, because the products, some of the opponents, some of the people they have acquired, they have gotten from Africa, they have made the best innovations in America. Make research, you will see it. Are we safe? Scientists are doing things in Africa, and the same Africans are the ones who are jealous of what they are doing. God, Emandwa yabazuungu, Omuzimu Ne-mandwa. I would give you an example of Dr. Ogwang, currently in Uganda, who came up with the medicine for COVID-19, which is called Covidex. In 2014, he also came up with a malaria medicine. The Ministry of Health recognized him, but it stopped there. It is Germany that called him to recognize him officially, because when the Ministry of Health recognized him, they never informed him he was recognized. But Germany, through another NGO, recognized that doctor for the medicine made over malaria. Currently, the man COVID strikes us last year, he starts healing his patients in Bara University Hospital. After healing them with Covidex, guess what happens? Boom! National Drug Authority is not authorizing his drug. Before he knows, the duplicates are on the market. Yesterday, but one National Drug Authority approved his medicine. But guess what? The mafias have already taken it. There are very many duplicates of Covidex on the market, and those are Africans joking with their science. Omuzimu gw'abazungu, emandwa y'abazungu. The setup, the mental setup of an African man is still the worst. How should we build our families for the best future, for the best of our continent? Number one, whether you need it or not, you have got to go back traditionally. Spiritually, you have got to grow strong. You can't grow strong spiritually when you were baptized and sacrificed in the church. You've got to first undo that. I myself, I undid the baptism. I went to court and called myself Natamba Masiko Magundu. Natamba is my father. Masiko is the name I baptized myself, and my father had to bless me again. Magundu is my great-grandfather. Now, bringing back the legacy of my family by calling myself my grandfather's name and my father's name, even if they die, I live to keep their name up. My kids are baptized in the same lineage to keep the lineage of my ancestors and the blessings. Our kids who are growing up now, our fathers made a mistake. Our great-grandfathers were forced into a religion. Then our fathers found that religion. Then for us, we grew up in that religion. Which means you cannot tell me to leave the religion that I found, that has made me grow up. But why not make research and understand why you are in that religion? We need to know much of how we can undo the worst and come to the best. Go back, go to courts and scrap off those English names. Scrap them off and rebaptize yourselves. In court, you make an affidavit. You saw in an affidavit. Go to the newspapers and you declare. Take a look at our leaders, most especially from Western Uganda. Find if they had those English names, and where did the English names go? They scrapped them off because they were searching for wisdom. Now that they did that, they have done what they have done. It is our responsibility to come and polish what they have done and improve it. If we don't improve the systems of our elders, then we are going to be the same as them. Corruption is going to be on us. Everything bad they have done is going to keep on us because we have not understood how to secure our future, how to secure the systems, how to work against mental colonization, against cultural imperialism. Let us go back and design family setups and see how best we can raise our families. We need to search and know ourselves spiritually. We need to understand how to set up our systems for the best of Africans. I want to thank you for today. This is Omuzimu Ne-mandwa yabazuungu part 1 on education. Our education systems are the worst. We need to redesign our education systems, whereby if somebody is in primary 7, he knows how to do things. Me, when I was still studying, we used to do handwork in primary. Every Friday, we used to do handwork, designing a virago, the mat, using the swamp, the papyrus. We used to design horse. We used to do carpentry. You get a panga, you get a good big stick, and you just shape it. You shape it. And you sell it. Where has that gone? The history they teach us is only European history. They cannot teach our own history. God bless Africa. God save Africa. That is part 1 of Omuzimu Ne-mandwa yabazuungu. Ase.